Let's read what Papa Trump has to say about CNN. Timcast.com reports Trump mocks CNN and low-rated Chris Wallace over failed streaming service, saying, quote, "It was like an empty desert out there despite spending hundreds of millions of dollars and the hiring of low-rated Chris Wallace, a man who tried so hard to be his father, Mike, but lacked the talent and whatever else is necessary to be a star. In any event, it's just one more piece of CNN and fake news that we don't have to bother with anymore," Trump continued. Wow. He said, "Congratulations to CNN Plus on their decision to immediately fold for a lack of ratings or viewers in any way, shape, or form." Absolutely incredible. Bye-bye, CNN.
I can't believe he just threatened their safety like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
horrific.
will say Mike Wallace was pretty awesome. That I agree with him with. This is like...
Could you imagine being Chris Wallace and being like, you're at Fox News, and then Brian Stelter walks up and he's like, "Would you like to do a show?" And he's like, "Well, I think that sounds like a great idea." And then he moves over, and then within 3 weeks, he's fired.
I'm obsessed with reading all the articles about his mental state, like the updates. It's like Chris Wallace telling interns to read him the numbers every hour. Chris
really?
Wallace having mental breakdown. Have you not seen these articles?
That
Like
sounds
he was worried about his
amazing.
ratings?
Yeah, he kept asking them to give him updates on the numbers every day. I would promise you that Timcast has more subs.
Is there? Do you think there are people out there who are like, you know, they're going to work, and then they walk up to the water cooler, and there's like a dude pouring water, and they go, "Hey, you see that Chris Wallace yesterday?" Like, "Oh yeah, good stuff."
I got to see what Wallace has to say. You know, every night I go home. What is he up to?
I think the
What's his
definition of
take?
pathetic is when you care about what the audience thinks. That's appeals wants the audience to feel something. That's pathetic. I'm not 100% sure if that's the only use of it, but that's a big part of what that
Pathetic?
word means. Yeah, it's
Really?
Yeah,
That's where-
I'll double check all that. I want to look into it. But that's
I did
something
not know
told in
that
the
is
past.
true.
Have you guys watched it at all? Like, you know,
No.
just
CNN Plus?
CNN Plus?
jokingly
Lauren,
bought a
I sure
membership
know.
to see
No,
what's
no,
there?
That's not
Hold on,
funny.
hold on.
That's not a
Lauren.
joke. Why would we do
You know what
that?
do you know what I can do with $3? I could do so
do
much
so
that's worth
many other
more than
things.
what CNN
I
has.
Is it
buy
only
soda.
$3?
They cut it in half.
Yeah, they
Because
did.
people weren't people weren't signing up for $6.
Within, like, a
so they
week.
reduced it to $2.99 lifetime or whatever, and I'm just like, do I want a cheeseburger or do I want to watch CNN? And
Well,
I
it's
got
not
to be
like
honest.
people aren't paying for this. Like Tucker Carlson Originals is taking off. You've
Right.
got lots of these things starting up. It would have to be pretty bad for them to say like, "Oh, we're not just going to change strategy a bit. We're going to cut it off right now, like 3 weeks in." It would have to be brutal. Like I'd be curious to see those numbers
It was
behind the scenes.
It was 150,000 paying monthly members. So if you're doing, $6 a month or whatever, they're not even cracking $1 million per month. So, they got a good amount of money coming in per year, but with a $300 million initial investment, and they were planning on putting $1 billion
It's
into
Warner
it.
Brothers, isn't it? Just
Well,
pouring money into it.
Warner Brothers merges with Discovery, and what they're saying now is they're like, because of the merger, CNN Plus didn't fit our plans, and we want everything housed under one streaming service. And I'm like, oh yeah? If CNN got 1 million subs in 1 month, they would not have canceled it. They would have been celebrating. CNN Plus failed because CNN Plus is garbage, because CNN is garbage, and garbage is not worth buying.
Well, it's not just that they're wrong, it's that they're boring. There are content creators who I disagree with, who I can tune into every now and again just to get their perspective on
you
something.
talking about me?
But
That's true.
yeah, exactly. Ian specifically. But the fact is, if you want people to pay for your subscription service, you have to have said something at least mildly interesting at some point in your life. And I don't think you'd qualify to work at CNN if you were capable of that.
Look at this. Timcast goes on. John Nicosia, the former managing editor of Mediaite, recently reported he had sources saying Wallace was having daily breakdowns over the state of CNN. Quote, source, Chris Wallace is having daily breakdowns over the miserable launch of CNN Plus, wants a CNN show or is threatening to walk, they go on. He is having staffers count how many times a day his promo is playing.
Oh, my
Yeah,
Lanta.
pathetic comes from pathetikos, which is Greek for subject to feeling, sensitive, or capable of emotion. It wasn't necessarily tied to an audience, but it was usually because of the way someone else treated someone.
I would not want to be Chris Wallace's agent right now. He's, Chris Wallace on the phone. What's going on with my show?
I have a
they're like-
solution.
Oh, yeah?
You know what I would pay for? I would pay if they moved them, transferred all these people from CNN Plus to Disney Plus, and like cast them in an early 2000s style
my
Disney
goodness.
movie.
So
Yeah.
bright.
Or
Yes,
like
I
Luck
love
of the
it.
Irish.
Wait,
Seen
why
that
are you
one?
looking at me? It always has to go
They
there.
had these like horrendous, amazingly offensive old Disney shows from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Those were
They cast
acceptable.
everyone from CNN in one of those, and like as like high school people too, since they always cast adults as high school characters in Disney movies.
Chris Wallace, high schooler.
Amazing.
Yes.
I mean,
I'd pay to watch that.
to be honest, I gotta be real. If CNN Plus launched and their commercial was that all of the hosts from CNN's primetime and Chris Wallace would be like, CNN Plus was literally just them doing musicals, I actually would have subscribed
kidding
to
me?
see it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'd like to see Brian Stelter pirouette.